Hi, good evening, everybody, or whatever the proper salutation is for whatever time you're in. I am Chloe, and this is Word Stitch. And this is my first night write. I have expanded to 5 days a week. Why? I don't know. I just decided I wanted an evening show. I'm actually more productive in the evening. And yeah, so I've been trying real hard to get myself to oh god, I'm trying to do two things at once, and so obviously the mouth is not what's working right here. I'm trying to like force myself to keep getting up early, and that's why I have my rise and write. But actually, I'm more productive in the evening. So here I am also doing evening stuff. I am also doing Twitch. This is my first week doing Twitch, and I have no clue what I'm doing with Twitch. So all of that time where I was kind of randomly babbling because I didn't know what I was doing, it was because I was trying to pull up the dang pop-up Twitch chat thing, because apparently I'm going to have to moderate that a lot better than I'm used to doing with YouTube. YouTube is easy. YouTube doesn't have trolls so much. There's not a whole lot of way for people on YouTube to bot, because you can't put links in there. So up until now, I've had a pretty easy life that way. But now I'm in the world of Twitch, where bots and trolls apparently reign supreme. So, because this is my productivity time, and I am by myself, completely by myself for once, I don't have any of the damn cats with me this time. I'm going to be hyper productive. I'm going to be doing just 5-minute breaks. We'll do a 10-minute sprint to warm up, and then we'll do 20-minute sprints from then on. And I'm not going to do the clock timing my breaks. I'm just going to wing my breaks, and they'll be about 5 minutes, and there will probably be some random break that's like 12 minutes because I get on some topic that happens, but expect about 5 minutes between each sprint. Let me know how you're doing in comments. I guess I should have comments up. There we go. Let me know how you're doing in comments. Let me know what you're working on. I am editing today. I'm going to be editing the last book in my Shifter series that I wanted to publish in 2019, and then I couldn't write the damn book. So I did finally write it, but it wasn't finished until a couple of months ago. And then, I was on a stricter deadline with my Demon series, because that one follows holidays. So I needed to have them all out by their holidays. So this thing just was backburnered for a year, and now here I am trying to make it work, and it's awful. I like the characters. I like the plot to it. But things aren't working out in it, and that's okay. That's what editing is for. So I'm doing like a big edit now. I'll probably have another big edit with it, because this edit isn't fixing all the problems. But baby steps. And by baby steps, I mean 10 minutes right now, and then we'll go from there. So it is 5 after. I will see you guys at quarter after. Go be productive. Okay, that was time. Hey, Rose, and hey, Courtney. Thanks for joining tonight. I am off center when I have that screen. Let me just do a little shimmy over here. Oh, that's just not going to work. Excuse me while I fuss with everything. Let me know what you guys are working on. I am editing a shifter novel that I wrote last year. That is the last book in my shifter series that clearly I should have had published by now, since the entire rest of the series was published in 2019. But here we are. I'm having some serious issues with it. It's in two parts, and I'm at the beginning of the second part, and I knew that the first part was bad. I knew that like the chemistry wasn't working right, which was kind of okay for the plot line. It's going to turn readers off, but like it makes sense in the plot line that they don't have a lot of chemistry in the beginning. I also have this issue that I don't have enough explained in it. I had it all explained in the first draft, but I had to do massive cuts on it. And I was kind of hoping it would work together, and, you know, that I was having a bad feeling about it, just, you know, because I wasn't feeling it at the time. But I just started the second part, and the second part starts with a different character, a character from a previous book. And just for that, like, one scene, and everything about this scene is so much better than the rest of the book. So this is going to need like a much bigger rewrite than I was hoping it was going to need. That's okay. It'll just be that like pet project that I've got sitting around while I'm working on the other projects. I'm so late with this that I don't think it matters if I sit on it for yet another 6 months. But, you know, it is what it is. And thankfully, honestly, this whole series was a complete flop. Nobody's read it. I've made almost nothing on it. I'm pretty sure at this point I have lost money on it. So I just need to get it finished just to have it out of my life. That's okay. That's okay. I'm going to work on this for the next 2 days. And then wherever I am with it, I'm going to jump back to my other, much more successful project. And that's okay. That's life. That is thankfully the life of a self-published author. I don't have somebody getting on my case about deadlines or anything. I make my own deadlines. And I am the type of hyper cautious person who doesn't make deadlines unless they are a sure thing. I know that some authors, I've heard some authors who have like productivity issues will, you know, before they even start a book, they will like put the pre-order up on Amazon, which Amazon's policies have changed recently and they're a little bit more lenient. But up until recently, I'm assuming it's because of COVID now that I'm thinking about it, that they changed the policy. But up until this year with Amazon, if you set up a book for pre-order and then had to cancel it or, you know, delay it, you were penalized heavily. Like you were not allowed to do pre-orders for a year or something like that. So I know authors, right? So Courtney just said that deadlines kill the process for you. And I am the same way. Some authors thrive under it. Some authors, before they even start the book, they will set it up and that way they'll set up the pre-order and that way they're forced to follow that deadline that they have given themselves. I am absolutely the type of person that if it wasn't coming out without that deadline, there's not a chance in hell that it's ever going to come out with that deadline. If anything, it'll be like this book that ended up being a year behind because I wanted this out so quickly and it wasn't working. And yeah, so I definitely, I mean, it's, you know, the thing with writing is that everybody's got a different technique, and what works for one person doesn't work for another. So, like, if that's how you work, that's great. But oh my God, it does not work for me. And it's a good thing that I didn't attempt to do that on this book because I would have been dead. Okay, so that was that 5 minutes for us. There we go. If you guys do need me to take slightly longer breaks than the 5 minutes that I usually do, just let me know. I don't mind. It's just, especially when it's just me, it's not harder to fill that 10 minutes, but I feel like I'm not helping the cause any by going for a full 10 minutes. But if you need me to go 10 minutes, just let me know. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and do this 20-minute sprint. So it is 21 past. That is going to take us to 41 past. Good luck, everybody. Okay, that is time on our first 20-minute sprint. Let me know how y'all did in comments. I am on the third scene of this section that I am editing tonight. And my hope right now, so like I said, I've had a whole issue with this book. I started writing it last October with the goal of finishing it during Nano, and then it was going so poorly in October that I said, no, I'm going to do something else in November, and then I'm going to pick this back up afterward. I picked it up once and got a little bit more done on it. I got most of it done last winter, and then I picked it up this fall and got the rest of this draft done. I don't know, this summer I think it was that I got it done. But so I did it in 3 parts. And the book is in 2 parts. So I wrote all of the first part a year and a half ago. And then the second part I wrote in 2 different sections. Right now, my hope is that maybe I just got better at writing between the first part and the second part, because so far I am liking the second part. And I kind of feel like this is something where I might just have to like rewrite some of that first part, and the rest of it will be good. And if that's the case, I will be over the moon about that, because I don't want this entire thing to be a nightmare edit. Nobody wants a nightmare edit, of course, but I would really like this to not be a project that is bogging me down again. Hey, Dawdling, let's see. You are 50. I can't even read numbers right now. You are 75 words short of your daily goal. Fantastic. But you finished all 3 things that you set out to write today. That is an issue. So you're trying to gear up the energy to start on tomorrow's tasks. Yeah, I feel that one. I'm in this weird time crunch right now where I did not do a pre-order on the book that I have coming out on the 19th. So technically it doesn't need to come out on the 19th. All I have said to anybody is that it's going to be in December, but I have an author takeover scheduled on the 19th for one of my Facebook groups. And I would dearly love to have this book be released then. And then it can be a whole thing. It's funny because the author takeover is for holiday books, Christmas, of course, or like winter holiday. And this book that I'm hopefully having out on that day is technically a Valentine's book, but the first book of the series is Christmas. So if I can get everything coordinated right, so I can like slap that discount on that book and hopefully get a whole bunch of sales, that'd be super cool. So with that in mind, your whole thing about gearing up the energy to start on tomorrow's tasks, I feel that simply because I'm in this situation where like the tasks that I'm working on are not necessarily the tasks that I want to be doing. Either like right now it's a filler, so I can like cleanse the brain in order to do that proofread. And also it's something that's not going to get finished probably in the time frame that I have. So I'm not used to working under these circumstances, but also at the moment I'm a full-time author, and that's just kind of life, right? Like if this is your job, it doesn't always go how you want it to. And there are certain things that you can't really do anything about. There's that mental capacity that sometimes just isn't there to get what you need done. And there's no way to really force that. You just got to like work on something else until it comes back to you. But also there are these moments where like you just have to be doing something that you don't want to be doing or that you weren't ready to be doing right now. So I get you. And Courtney is procrastinating on her rewrite So you're doing beta reading instead. And yes, I love that. I definitely do a lot of that where I can't get myself where I need to be to do what I really need to do. But there are all these other little projects going around that I do need to get done. So yeah, if you took on a beta reading and you can't get yourself to do your rewrite right now, then you're still doing something you have to do instead of, screwing around watching TV or playing video games. Not that I am against either of those things, but there are those time sucks. Time sucks. You're not doing a time suck. You're doing something that you need to get done. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get that next sprint going. Again, we're just going to be doing 20-minute sprints and 5-minute breaks unless I've got any protests for that. I have to go do a little bit of work elsewhere during this 20-minute sprint, but hopefully I still get a little bit of productivity in it. So it is 47 past. So that is going to take us to 7 past. Go be productive, everybody, while I hopefully get stuff done to be productive myself. Okay, that is time. Let me know how you did in comments. I did get the scene I was working on finished, and I am still feeling good about this part of the book, at least. Hopefully this whole section, this middle part that I wrote, all goes smoothly. I don't know about that end part because I'm now remembering what the end is, and it's a great big battle. And something that I've mentioned many times is I don't write battles very well. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's okay that I rely on ridiculousness in them, because I write paranormal romance, and I feel like it's a genre where as long as it's not like the really really super serious stuff, it's okay if it goes a little wonky. I feel like this one went a lot wonky though. There was a lot going on with it. The previous book in this series, it was like 2 dragons and a bear who were fighting. And then also there was a brawl at a diner, which of course when you're doing a brawl at a diner, you do whatever you want, like whatever. It's just insanity. But this one is like a whole pack of wolves and a whole, I don't know the right squadron. We'll call it a squadron for now of dragons. What do you call a whole herd of planes? I don't know. I mean, obviously herd is not even a little bit correct, but yeah. So I don't know. We'll get there when we get there. Maybe when I get there, I'll discover that there's like way too much in it and I could cut a whole bunch out of it. I also have this problem with fight scenes when it's a massive group like that they're endless and like to the point where it's ridiculous the numbers that I throw into it. I do it every damn time, and maybe it's okay and it's just me. Like maybe it's just like in my brain I'm doing all this math and I'm like, this was like 47,000 aliens that just showed up. How did they all fit on that spaceship? When I'm writing alien romance. But like maybe for readers, the number does not seem nearly so inflated, and it makes sense that like the enemies are coming in waves and they're fighting off like 4 at a time. I don't know. I guess the other good thing with writing romance in this particular situation is that people aren't reading it for the fight scenes. It's not like I have to worry about somebody calling me out for my fight scenes being bad. Romance readers mostly just want the important points. I feel like it's definitely stuff that most romance readers kind of just scan through and make sure that they catch what they need and keep on going. That's what I do, at least. I feel like I'm not unusual for that. Unless the scene is ridiculous again. So maybe it's a good thing that I write the dumbest fight scenes ever. In both this book and the last book, I had the bear riding a dragon and just like throwing himself from dragon to dragon to fight. And maybe romance readers are all about stuff like that. I don't know. I do know that so far I'm liking this little section of it though. So that gives me hope. Yeah. So I hit that dead end, when I'm trying to fill in the 5-minute space, and I just, yeah. Anyway, so I've got this book for today is the 9th. I got to jump back to the other thing on the 12th. And now, since this section seems to be going better, I say from like doing 4 scenes in it, hopefully I might actually get it finished in time. I have to like I mentioned in the last break, I'm probably gonna have to rewrite a big chunk of the first section, but hopefully that'll be for the best. And I can have this out in a reasonable time because I really would like to have this finished and over with before I get the alien romance going, which I would like to have the first book out and that by February or March. I guess at least have all of the books. It's mid-December. Well, it's not even. It's almost mid-December. It is still early December. I shouldn't be selling myself short. Um, yeah, yeah. I should be able to. If I get that other book done by the middle of the month, maybe I'll try to get this one done by the end of this month, to be published next month. And then I've got 4 more books to write in the Alien series. And I wrote the first 2 in a month. So yeah. Yeah, I feel like if I'm better about sticking to stuff, if life not to curse myself, but if life goes better than it did in November, maybe I'm okay. We'll find out, right? What time is it? We're getting there. Oh, did I? Oh, hey, I actually went farther than I needed to. If I had actually looked at the timer, I would have known that actually I didn't even need to try to fill in the rest of that because I'm already past 5 minutes. Yay. Yay for you guys as well. You don't have to listen to me ramble anymore. So we're going to go for the next 20 minutes. It is almost quarter past. So that is going to take us to right about 35 after. So that'll give us this sprint and we'll have one more sprint this evening. Yay. I'll see you guys in 20 minutes. Okay, we are back. I am back. Actually, it is we. Chonk, Chonk joined me in that break. Let me know how you guys did. I did pretty good, except I made a whole discovery. I had to do a little bit of research, and I messed up slightly. I feel like it is something that nobody will notice. I was relying on the fact, this is a weird one. So again, when you're dealing with shifters, you're dealing with a bunch of weird animal stuff. I was always under the impression, Duddling Raider got some apple cider, and that's always exciting. I love apple cider. So these shifters that I have are jaguars. Not all of them. As I've mentioned, I've got bears and dragons, and actually this book is about wolves. But also there's a whole bunch of jaguars in this story. And one of them is black, and also he's a black jaguar. And I always thought, like, I knew that jaguars and panthers were related, but I always thought that jaguars were the genus and panthers were the species. So, like, jaguar was a bigger family and panthers were within that family. And that's not the case. It's the opposite of that. So he is still a jaguar as a panther. Because jaguars can be black, so that's fine. But also, I have been relying on the fact that panthers are black in order for me to avoid saying Black Panther, because of course that word is used for other things. And you know, it's one of those things where when you're reading it and you see the phrase Black Panther, your brain is going to go to those other things that you hear more often than actually referring to the feline. So now I'm like, do I need to go back and change all this stuff, or do I just leave it as it is? Like, it's established usually, except that this is the first reference for him in this book, and that was where I got like hung up on it. And it's important. It's relevant to the book because he's missing. So like, it's a missing persons thing that the character is putting out there. But you know, it's one of those things where you rely on the knowledge of the reader for certain things. And sometimes that is faulty, either in this case, because I was wrong all along, or it's just not as common knowledge as you think it is. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but now I'm like, oh my God. Like, I refer many times to the fact that he is a jaguar, and I also refer to him as a panther. And now I'm like, do people even know that they are the same cat, except kind of opposite, as I said. I thought one was family and the other genus and the other was species, and it's actually vice versa, which totally doesn't matter for this book. But now I'm like, I don't know if this is actually common knowledge or if I'm confusing people by describing him as both a jaguar and a panther. And also, is it safe to just assume that when I say panther, people are going to assume that it is a Black Panther, just because, again, that phrase is used for other things, where whenever I don't know, I don't think I'm weird by saying that anytime I hear panther, it's pretty much always the phrase Black Panther that I hear. Anyway, I don't know. It's just a weird, writing is an adventure. Yeah. Also, like, that whole family is so weird because there's a whole bunch of cats in that family that are all in that same situation of, like, actually all of these words pretty much mean the exact same cat. And this is just the stuff that you deal with when you're writing shifters, or I guess zoo stories, or if you're writing anything wilderness related. This, I don't know. I have a weird wealth of animal knowledge now. And some of it is great and some of it is weird, and that is life. Okay. So, perfect timing, because my timer just ran out, or it just hit the 5 minutes. I said at the beginning of the show that I was not going to set a timer in between breaks or like on the breaks. I don't know. I feel like that's getting like really neurotic for a 5-minute break. If you go over just a little bit, like to set that timer. And also to not be able to like pay that close of attention that you're running over like crazy on it. So I don't, but also if you look really closely, let me make it bigger. You see that this actually does pretty much give me that countdown. Just because of I don't know why it has this feature, but it works. I like this little timer that I have. I'd recommend it to people, but I tried to find it recently for somebody, another author tuber, and I can't find this app anywhere. Okay, so we're going to write for the next 20 minutes. It is 9:40 in Atlanta, so we are going to write until 10 o'clock exactly, or on the hour of wherever you are. Good luck, everybody, and get some productivity in. Your sister. Ham. Ooh. Which door are you at? Come here. Okay, that was our last sprint for the day. Thanks for joining, Charlie. Unfortunately, I am about to end. I am here every Wednesday from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern, though, and I posted my schedule on the screen. It is absolutely that complicated. Monday, 4 to 6, Tuesday and Friday, 8 to 10 a.m., Wednesday, 8 to 10 p.m., and Thursday, 10 a.m. to noon. It's ridiculous, I know. I don't know why I'm like this, but, I guess I just wanted to, spread the net wide for anybody who wants to join me. You're all welcome no matter where you are. So that is the show for today. Oh, I think I got 5 scenes total there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm 6 scenes into the section that I was working on today. So that feels real good. And I'm feeling better about this story than I did when I started the sprints today. So yay. But again, I will be on tomorrow at 10 a.m. And awesome, Courtney, I will see you then. And I really like that 10 a.m. slot too. That 8 a.m. slot is real rough for me. I'm forcing myself to do it to get my ass out of bed in the mornings, but I'm looking forward to that 10 a.m. tomorrow because I feel like that's about when I hit my stride, actually. So you guys all have a great night or whatever time of day it is for you. And like and subscribe. I'm here constantly, 5 days a week. Bye, everybody.